Hello everyone, Odd Doll here. As you already know from the thumbnail, today we are looking at the Monster High Scary Sweet Clawdeen Wolf Cake Kit. So this popped up on Amazon a few days ago. It went in and out of stock for a bit, I think, and now it says currently unavailable, but I very much imagine it should be coming back in stock sometime soon. So this set goes along with the recent birthday line that introduced Cupid, and it's really, the Clawdeen in it is so pretty, very cute. So we're going to get into unboxing her first, and then we'll take a little bit of a closer look at her too, and we're going to do the cake kit part. So this is going to be a little bit of a longer video because there are lots of things to unbox here. So you can see here all of the contents, and some of them are really tiny, but there are a lot of separate pieces, and the packaging shows you the different styles of cake that you can make. Here we have Clawdeen up close. She's really pretty. I love her makeup. That little blushing that they did across her nose and onto the starts of her cheeks is so cute. She has beautiful long saran hair, which is fabulous. I'm always so happy when Clawdeen gets saran hair. And her outfit, I think, is super cute too. It's a little bit less detailed than the other ghouls from this line, but I actually don't mind that at all. So you can take a look at her shoes. They're very cute and detailed, and they feel super Clawdeen to me. And then she has these plastic pieces, and at the end we will take those off and see how she looks without them. So when I say that there's a lot to unbox here, there is a lot. There are several bags here. There are two different sort of Play-Doh whatever you want to call that, and then there is this is so cute. I can't get over this. It is a little cake container for the cakes that you make. It even has the little Monster High skeleton on it. I thought that was such a cute detail. I sort of want to make a cupcake and use this actually for that. I think that it's super cute. And then these are, if you can tell, they're little skeleton eyes that you can put into these holes that are on the cake. And we will try that out in a little bit. And then the set does come with several different cupcakes in different colors, and you're able to decorate the cupcakes too, and we will also do that in the video. So here we have lots of different icing type pieces that you can use to decorate the cake, and I think that it really makes the cake look a lot more realistic, so we will get to using these as well. Next up, we have some other pieces that are those really tiny ones, and they kind of spilled all over on me, that are just also little icing pieces. So there are three different colored icing pieces. There are white ones, pink ones, and black ones, and we are going to use them all, not every single one, but we'll use some from each different color. And then we'll go ahead and open up our next bag. Now this one has some of the tools that you can use to make the cake. So there is this adorable little rolling pin, which we will test out. There is the top portion of the cake, which you can obviously decorate with whatever I don't know what to call it. The Play-Doh, it's not Play-Doh, but we're going to call it that. There's these little tongs, which are just adorable, and they have a little hand holder so that you can actually pose Clawdeen with it if you would like. And then this is sort of the base to a cake. We got some more cupcakes here. Clawdeen's color here, purple. And then I love this too. This is a little cupcake carrier that you would walk out of the store buying cupcakes in. It's so cute. The next bag that we have here has the cake stand in it, which is really pretty and nicely detailed, and it just feels very Draculaura because, it's Draculaura's birthday, so this seems very perfect for her, of course. And then we have, of course, more cupcakes, and then this is the top portion of the icing tool so that you can get it to do different designs. Here's another cake that has those holes for the skeleton eyes, and then a little tray for carrying our cupcakes that we are going to have fun designing. Then we still have another bag here because there is a lot, and this one has the black icing pieces, so very cute. There's spiders and flowers, and then some more of the skeleton eyes, and we will test those out, of course. And if you thought we were done with the bags, we are not. Here's another one. So here we have another cake that you can decorate. There are a lot of, I didn't realize how many pieces there were, like how many different cakes you could actually make, and obviously you can stack them to make bigger cakes, and that's the tool for doing the icing. We got another cupcake, and then this is the cake topper. So cute. It says Sweet 1600, and it's got like those lipstick looking candles at the top. And then here is like a mold so that, I don't know, you can like make a fondant or maybe like the base of a cake. I don't know. I'm not going to pretend that I know how to make cakes well, because I don't. Here is another one of those pieces. It has the holes for the skeleton eyes. And then another mold with just a bunch of tiny skeletons. I think that this is so cute. And then here is like a little cake batter spatula sort of situation, which I just think is darling. And of course, another cupcake. All right, so that is officially all of the bags. Now we are going to organize the small little icing pieces in this cute little organizer that you get, which is actually super handy. I'm really glad that it came with this. And like the organizer is just like a light plastic piece, but it comes with a lid and everything, and I don't think that you really need anything else. And I just think that it also just looks really adorable. Now, it did come with instructions. They're pretty basic and easy. Like, we're going to start by taking this Play-Doh-esque stuff, rolling it up, and then putting it in that icing tool. And I will show you how like the different tips that it comes with do look. So right now it's just sort of like a syringe sort of situation, but we will get back to this in a minute. We are going to check out the other Play-Doh that you get, which is a pink one. So black and pink, very appropriate for Miss Draculaura. And on this one, we're going to roll it into a ball so that we can test it out in one of those molds. I did kind of do this in the wrong mode. I did this in not landscape, so apologies for that. Skip ahead if it's too annoying. But yeah, I am using the mold here. You can see it makes some really pretty flowers. Now initially I thought that this would go on top, but as you can see, like it is bigger than this cake. So I think that rather using it on top, you could use it to like make a separate cake that doesn't like require one of these plastic pieces, or just like use it as a base for this cake. Because I think that that looks pretty cute. It seems like it's very customizable. You can make it however you like. So here we have the skeleton eyes in, and I've just like stacked them into a 3-tier cake. We have our little icing tool here, and you kind of have to like hold your finger on it to push it against the plastic to get it going. But once you do, it actually works really well. I didn't feel bold enough to go like fancy with like a zigzag design. Like this feels like on too small of a scale for me to be able to properly pull that off. So, you know, I just did a straight line. But here we are trying out the other mold, which look at how cute it is. Look at those tiny little skeletons. That is super adorable and would definitely make a very cute cake. So now we're just going to go back to decorating this cake. So I'm just like icing the base of it because that just seems like the most cake-like to me. And then we're going to use like those small little icing accessories that it came with to make it look like jazzier. Because, you know, right now this, you know, doesn't look particularly impressive, and I'm not very artistically inclined with like the icing tool, to be honest with you. So these little pieces are sort of tiny little lifesavers. So I'm very glad that they're included. So yeah, they just look like, you know, those tiny little balls of icing that fancy people use to decorate around the one portion of a cake. So it works really well, and I think that it looks really cute. Now, because we have like different icings in 3 different colors, I figure that I'll use a different color for each tier, but it would also be very cute to mix and match them. I was just kind of like going very simple and trying to work out how I could make this cake look better than it did with like just my icing job. And please don't mind how dirty my fingernails look, because that is just the black Play-Doh underneath. I swear that I have clean hands. You probably already knew that, but I needed to point that out. So here we're putting the little ghosties on top. I think that they're so cute. Like, they're very tiny, but they still have detail, and you can clearly tell what they are, and I just think that it's very fabulous. And so now you can see like it is starting to look like a cake, and this is actually a lot of fun. Usually when there's like sort of like a play set sort of gimmicky thing like this, I don't really play around with it too much. Like, I might just give it to my children and have them have fun with it. But I have to say that as an adult collector, I thoroughly enjoyed putting together this cake, and I definitely will try to get better at it and do fancier stuff. Now we're going to put the little cake topper on here. Putting it on, I realize it feels a little bit wobbly, so I figured it would be best to add a little bit of that Play-Doh stuff to the top. It would probably make sense to add this in between each layer just to give the plastic something to hold on to a little better, because once I did this, the cake topper stayed in place nicely, and then I just like peeled away the excess black icing that's, you know, not supposed to be showing. All right, and then we will take a look at how you can decorate the cupcake. So it's basically like the cake, but on a tiny scale. Just like put a little bit of that icing on there and then stick one of those cute little icing accessories in, and they look really cute. It's very adorable. I'm a very big fan of this. And then, of course, we had to test out the little cupcake tray here. So this, to me, is just absolutely darling. With, like, the little, like, ghost and bat accessories on top, you can't, like, actually close the tray, but for display purposes, I would rather have it open anyway so you can actually see, and I just think that that is absolutely adorable. And then here is that just darling little cake tray. So obviously a 3-tier cake is too high to put in there, but if you didn't do the 3 tiers, or if you did a small one like this with the mold, you could easily put it in there. And then I just wanted to show you that it did come with 3 different like icing attachments, and that is what they look like. And then there is a shot of just how much stuff you actually get in this set. It is a lot. Like, you can make very many different cakes and have it be very many tiers if you like. Then, of course, I want to show Clawdeen being super proud of her cupcakes and showing them off. It's adorable that she can hold on to this. And also, it's just super awesome of Clawdeen to be making cake and cupcakes for Draculaura's birthday. Go Clawdeen. So here is the cake up close. And then I wanted to show you Clawdeen up close again because she's got those super killer heels on. And then I wanted to do a little bit of a close-up of this piece. And then, in case you wanted to see what she looks like without it, there you guys go. I think that it looks really cute without those pieces on as well. But inevitably, I will put those plastic pieces back on for display. And there you have it. I hope that you enjoyed. Thank you so much for being here. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. And other than that, have a really great rest of your day. Bye for now.